Hello, my name's host Eric. I love talking to thin people. I want to talk about McDonald's being healthy. And, when I first pointed out that McDonald's is not unhealthy, it was just sort of a reflexive thing. Like, obviously, McDonald's is not unhealthy. But what I've discovered is that this is actually the perfect topic for an ENTP 738 because it's an area where you're right and literally everybody else in the world I've discovered is dead set certain that, well, I mean, come on, but no, Eric, I mean, really, though, McDonald's is unhealthy. But so, I mean, when you have that much entrenched wrongness, it's a perfect topic for NEP to talk about because it's kind of like their dream to be the lone truth teller in a sea of wrongness. And, have each wrongness come to them. No?
The sea of wrongness. Sea of wrongness?
Okay, well, put it this way. Maybe not C. How about a boxing ring of wrongness, right? We want to be in the middle of a battle royale of like professional wrestling where like 30 guys come at us with wrongness and they all fall down, right? We don't want the wrongness to persist into the world.
It's like Mario Brothers. There's periodic intermittent like wrongness.
Right, yeah. It doesn't persist beyond the battle. I agree. There's a good distinction there. Right. But
Or text you for the rest of your fucking life.
right. Well, that's the thing. It's even the thing I'm arguing. I mean, the thing is, I don't care, right? I couldn't fucking care less about this topic at all. Just to be abundantly clear, I don't care if it's healthy or not. It's not going to impact my eating decisions because I know what I think about it. I can make the argument that one ought to be offended by positions on diet because they're necessarily implying positions for others, right? You don't say that food. When I choose to eat that food, it's an unhealthy choice for me. You know, say this behavior when I engage in, it's a bad habit I have because this particular behavior is bad for me. People say that food's unhealthy. That implies you shouldn't eat it. That's what I don't like about it. But regardless, I really don't care that much. I'm just saying, to the extent that I do care, it's locked into that. And regardless, though, it's a good one to win because it's nannyism. A nannyism is a general category of thing. Yeah. Is it the juiciness of the argument itself? Um, right. It's the arbitrary affirmation of claims that are totally unwarranted.
And it's so completely useless. That's the best. An INTP is an occasionally do the job, but it's going to take them a while. But they're going to do it for a while.
I mean, I think when INTPs beat ENTPs, it's because they make it.
You guys perform a game, you don't want to see each other. This is the closest thing that will ever be to an INTP game.
That's
And
fun.
their leader is the ENTP?
They're unleadable. They're unleadable. That's the thing about INTPs. They don't have to worry about being in groups because they're utterly unleadable. I've tried to lead them. They don't go anywhere. They, I can neither lead them to water nor make them drink.
Hmm. How do you get an INTP to... Yeah, good luck. I don't know.
A puzzle. You challenge one of their established beliefs, or you give them a riddle.
Provide a platform for them to show themselves clever and entertaining and likable, ideally. Because I think I've come to think that Enneagram type, tri-type is hugely important, like maybe more important than regular type. Because I think the people who are most like me that I've met are all 7, 8, 3s. I feel most similar to that more so necessarily than ENTPs. There's certain kinds of ENTPs I met that I can tell they're ENTPs, but they don't really seem like me very much. And it's probably because they're at a different stage of development. I think Enneagram type takes into account stage of development. The 7 kind of narrows the field down by being the permanent one, and then the other ones kind of vary over the course of development. But I think there's only a couple stages of development you could have. Like for an ENTP 738, I think to the extent that you weren't that at the beginning, you probably had a 6 in there instead of, not a 6. You probably had a 4 instead of a 3. Probably an individualist instead of a 3. That would be the main difference. So I bet there's a lot of 748s who turn into 738s.
I don't know enough about it to comment. It will probably come as no surprise that I think that I've only taken like 2 of the shitty little free ones, but I generally test pretty high on these.
That doesn't surprise me. I haven't taken any of them, but if you asked me not that long ago if I would test high on it, I would say no. I'm not angry. It took me a long. At first, I didn't even realize it was anger exactly. It just seemed like remembering that I didn't really come to it until after I quit drinking. It just seemed sort of like, yeah, well, yeah, finally, things are making sense. And as you work through it, I bet you go, oh, this is empowering. And it's a tough line to walk because it's kind of like my reflexive go-to, I guess. And it can be harsh anger. Well, not anger, but harshness, pushing.
Well, it's kind of how all negative emotions work. Because, like, that one's familiar. This other shit is not.
You mean tenderness? Are you talking about tender sensuality, Taylor? Is that what you don't understand?
You fell right through it.
Nick here is another ENTP. I don't know if you watched any videos or talked to him before. Have you talked to him, Taylor?
I have not.
He tried. He tried to throw down with me the other night, and we couldn't get anywhere, basically. So, no, he did that thing. Like he did the shit. He does the shit that we do, but it's just like he did that thing where, okay, well here I'm gonna nail you on something. He says, well, here's a bunch of different definitions of that word, so it's too ambiguous for us to make a point about. It's like, okay, oh Jesus, what an incredible waste of time. And when I thought to myself, like, I can't get drawn into this, but I can't lose, of course. So.
Debating a point until 7 in the morning. I had no idea that a sensor would ever grab something like that at like MBTI for London. So.
Was he debating the same point all night?
He was holding the ground point that I
was. Was it an MBTI point?
It was in very much MBTI context. It was, it's his, I was saying he takes it personally. It's disrespect. I'm saying it wasn't me. It wasn't another ENTP. Well, dude, he's just comfortable.
Okay, so TISE. What's the opposite of SE? FNI. They don't have FI in the conscious stack, right?
FE is the
yeah. So that's probably it. He's not managing perceptions well, and is not understanding that feeling as though you can take offense at the perceptions of others is
Well, I explained it that what he can't fathom is that we can't fathom being so entrenched and confident of our selfness as a permanent complete thing. And he also can't comprehend us how free we are from like attachment to our ideas or emotions. That a relationship is just it's kind of like a ball of plasma that you can't find. You just know who your buds are. In individual instances, people get pissed sometimes. You say that's it.
So, I mean, was his position that you had specific lack of
Um,
attachment to specific things that he thought one ought to be attached to, or was it
what
what?
happened was he has another friend who I haven't ever met, but I was able to tell this a two second story. Like we, all my memories are like connected. A buddy of his who is in the NTP also um, said something douchey. I mean, like he got in the car, he picked him up, he got in the car, and the whole ride the ENTP was mad and like laid at him, and it was quiet the rest of the ride. And he took that as like uh, disrespect. And I'm saying, you guys have been friends for too long. He's not disrespecting you. He's just going bad. And you're in the car. He has no idea that that was remaining offensive.
Okay, I missed part of that story, Taylor, which is I don't know what he did in the car exactly. What did he do?
He just, he was, the ENTP friend was, he was upset about something. And just like in his kind of like rampage, or, rant or whatever, said like 3 minutes of mean shit at him, and then didn't say anything else. And and I'm
Well, but I mean, the ENTP needs to apologize, right? A smart ENTP will go like, "Oh shit, I fucked up. Let me try to patch this shit up real quick."
sorry, bro, but that's about like all.
All right. Well, he needs then. I mean, he's right in the sense like, but his argument should have been, I can see your point, your fundamental mechanism here, Taylor, but he needed to put his whole ass into it, and he half-assed it, which means not only did he err on the side of his framework to begin with, but then he didn't even care to acknowledge that it violated my framework seriously, or something like that. You
Yeah,
know?
that's not the, the way that you two are going to approach that situation. Both two TI have neither of you is going to be wrong. You're both going to be right. This is like that. And now that I understand that, burden is on you of the higher ground. And you need to realize that the offense should be somewhat correlated to independent. They have no idea.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
He made a huge reach in that minute. But I think, at least I have, under somewhat of an assumption that people who know me understand that, and I assume it's the same for other people, more than I should. People have bad days, and they act like this, and that's it. It's not, it doesn't have a ramification on the broad relationship. It's not like I disrespect you. It's like, as an asshole. Sorry, it happens.
right.
You're an asshole, and I won't worry about it.
Well, that's one of the advantages maybe of ISTJ over ISTP. Cameron doesn't seem particularly phased when I'm an asshole and seems to accept it when I apologize and, not really be bothered by it at all. For HBs, I think that's one quality of ISTJs maybe that's helpful for a healthy interaction. For the record, for the people in chat, I believe everything is now up to date. I think I got everything going on. Nick's doing too much stuff at once. Well, congratulations, Nick. Uh, I am trying to split my attention between chat and talking as well, and it's causing me problems.
Did anyone take my ex-wife from me yet?
What are we supposed to do to her? Or text her? I,
Anything, distract her from me.
I,
Or even for a long from Kit Kat.
if I were to text her, then she might text me back.
I wish that you would call her and tell her to stop wasting my time. and then just see how that goes from there.
I should call her and say, hey, this is Taylor's friend Eric. What's going on? I hear you're available. What I said is I should.
Voice, or anybody can call her. I'm trying. Oh, well, yeah, sure. I don't care who does it, but I want to argue with another EMP because it's like bashing my head into a brick wall. Fucking stupid.
The thing is, I want to try to talk to her as honestly as possible. Say, hey, listen up. It's I'm Taylor's friend. What's going on with you and Taylor? Are you having some problems? Let's see what she says.
Oh my God, do that. I put her number back in the chat.
I don't want to do that though. It seems mean, Taylor. I'm not going to be mean to this chick. I don't want to be a part of it because I'm afraid I'm going to be mean. This woman is, if she's actually mentally ill, then I don't want to be mean to her. Yeah, I don't want you to actually successfully talk me into, indignation.
Why is her texting you bothering you? How is that?
She's hit me with 17 text messages and 7 calls on 2 phones in half an hour since I hung up. And what she wants to talk about is me not being an asshole because she told my 6-year-old daughter that you go to school for 20 years with no qualifiers, like you're going to be a doctor or you fail 8 classes.
How involved is she in your daughter's life? What kind of custody?
My daughter was 1. She lives in either Memphis or Cincinnati. She's been calling very consistently for the past week or so, which is nuts.
So she's not very involved.
Not actually. She's kind of not allowed in the county unless she wants to get that warrant taken care of.
Do you allow her to talk to your child?
It requires your participation. It requires you to pay in her actually doing anything impactful in your life.
I mean, she's invading my life with her sporadic involvement and then her stupid statements. So when my daughter does an argument with the teacher and says, you go to school for 20 years, not 12. Look, nobody should not know how many years of school there are.
Okay.
How do you not know that?
But Taylor, I have a question. Do you let her talk to her kid?
Yeah, as much as she wants.
And you could, in theory, try to make arguments like, no, you don't get to talk to her. Try to withhold the ability to do that. And you've already articulated how difficult she's been. So the point is, that's the most important thing. If you're behaving morally in that regard and not trying to utilize something that ought not be utilized as leverage, which you aren't, then your complaints are perfectly valid, and nobody should say, oh, Taylor's not nice to the ex-wife. However, if she is actually mentally ill, then that would make me feel bad, even if she's a bad person. So
if she's mentally ill, it's only because of all the fucking speed you did. Once we got married, I had a good job, and she didn't have to do shit.
Being a speed addict isn't a good reason for me to throw someone on the garbage heap, Taylor.
It wouldn't. Yeah. No. You don't live with it.
Okay, I'm not saying, hey, Taylor, I'm not defending the woman. I'm just saying it's too complicated an issue for me. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's too complicated. I know, Taylor. That makes it more complicated, not less.
How's that not simplify the fact that you should feel okay? You know what? I'm trying to liberate your morals.
What I'm trying to tell you, Taylor, is that evidence more of mental illness than anything else, in my mind, given the pattern of other behavior. It seems more like mental illness than criminality, especially the way that went down. So I return to my original warrant. It's too complicated, therefore. I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong of me to participate. I'm saying it's too complicated, too difficult to adjudicate.
But it would be really simple if you're really overestimating her.
What is Eric going to be able to achieve that you could not?
That's not the point. We're not arguing about whether I'm actually going to call her. We're arguing about whether I'm right in having hesitancy on moral grounds.
Okay, because she's a woman, so she obviously pulls in as many people as she can. When you sit there for too long. So she's lowered that behavioral bar for you, not for me, because I'm in such a of course, so I got to keep it. And not get any child support. But eventually, we don't know.
Yeah. But Taylor, the thing is, the message I want to have come through here as somebody who had exactly the same experience as you and a single father raising a child is, and somebody who's not ever using his ability to really leverage the wrong things, that there should never be any judgment regarding this situation from others, because I know how fucking difficult and how crazy that ex-wife is, and how we're fucking saints in dealing with them after the fact. And good parents, excellent parents. So I want to make sure that's the message that comes out of this about Taylor. I'm past the little kid stage, but I'd like to enter it again at some point, maybe. Regardless, I can guarantee you everything I just said is true of Taylor, as it was with me. And so, fuck you, anybody who disagrees with that. I want to,
I mean,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I don't bring up. I don't even hang that as leverage over there.
Okay, you child.
But I don't.
What a gangster.
Testify, sister.
And she owes you.
Yeah, there's $600 a month that I've never seen literally anything. In fact, I've paid for her.
In the fact that you got full custody and she owes you child support when you are not common, so.
Me and my lawyer are like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday walking here.
I see.
Well, you beat me there, Taylor. I had to pay her $200 a month for like a year.
No alimony. Give me child support. I got the good comp.
Need to get you a cough drop.
That's interesting. Okay, is this recording? Am I recording? I don't know if I'm recording. This is recording.
Yeah.